Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. So today let's talk about loneliness and how we can face this situation. So in this video I'm going to be talking about two things, and the first one is the loneliness and the second one is the solitude, which is more reframed version of being alone. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about loneliness. When we are around people, when we are living with people, and when we are in relationships with people, normally we feel happy. We feel that we are content, right? And we feel this joyfulness within ourselves. But when they are not around us, or when they leave us, sometimes when we have to depart from them, normally we feel depressed, sad, or lonely, or we feel like no one cares about us. So this is the feeling of loneliness. If we analyze this emotion of loneliness, we can find that we have become happy because of the people around us, because of their reaction, because of their way of behavior. That was the reason that we became happy. Simply it means that we have given the key of our own happiness to other people. So when they leave our life, sometimes when they depart from ourselves, sometimes when they fade away from our life, what happens to us is we become unhappy. We become sad, we become depressed, and we feel like no one is caring for us. There is no one to help for me. That is what we are thinking. So how we can deal with this? Well, that is where we come to the topic of solitude. Supreme Buddha advised us, Supreme Buddha advised the monks to practice this practice of being solitude. So what do you mean by solitude? So first of all, let's compare the loneliness to the solitude. Then you can take some idea about that. In loneliness, when you are lonely, you're thinking for someone to come to your life and make you happy. That means you are depending on others. Your happiness depends on others. But in solitude, you try to find the happiness within yourself. When you find the happiness inside yourself, you don't want to depend on another person. You don't want to depend on second person. You can find your happiness within yourself. And that is what the practice of solitude gives us. So when you are being solitude, or simply when you are being alone, now there are the people talk about this like the loneliness and being alone is two different things, right? So when you're being alone or when you're being in solitude, you're happy. You're not finding the happiness from these outer sources. You find the happiness within yourself. So Buddha teaches us to look at this loneliness not as something to be sad, not as something negative. Buddha teaches us to look at this loneliness, something that is beneficial for you, something that is positive. So how we can use this loneliness, or how we can reframe this loneliness to be positive? Well, if you think about whenever you are being alone, you have more time for yourself, right? You have a bigger freedom for yourself. You can think about yourself. You can reflect more about yourself, and you can practice meditations, or you can think about your health and do some practices about that. You can do some self-development techniques, so you can improve yourself. So when you use that time, when you use that loneliness for good things, then you become more positive about that. Then you will never feel these sad or depressing states. So let me tell you a little story how Buddha felt lonely at one time. Actually, this incident happened to the Buddha before he became enlightened. We call him the Bodhisattva. When he was Bodhisattva, he was practicing this self-mortification for 6 years. He gave lots of hardships to this body. He did some extreme meditations in the jungle. So there were 5 monks who were helping the Bodhisattva. So he practiced these self-mortification meditations for 6 years and he mastered that. Finally, he came to the conclusion of that I cannot achieve this enlightenment by self-mortificating or by giving this extreme hardship to this body. So he decided to find this middle way. So what he did was, first of all, he took his bowl and he went to the village and he got some foods to eat. Because he thought that to do the meditations, I need to have this physical energy. But those 5 monks who were helping to Bodhisattva, who were expecting the enlightenment from the Bodhisattva through this self-mortification, was so confused because they saw that the Bodhisattva is having these foods. Then those 5 monks thought, like, now he's not going to achieve this enlightenment. The enlightenment can only be achieved by this self-mortification. So they never believed on the Bodhisattva. So what they did was, they left the Bodhisattva. Now our Maha Bodhisattva was all alone in the middle of the jungle. There was no one to help him. There was no one to care about him. No one knew about him. He was all alone. But he didn't think about that loneliness as something depressed or something negative. So he thought, now I have more time for myself. I can do my meditations freely. There was no one to think about me. So I must use this time for my self-development. That is what Maha Bodhisattva thought. So that is the way that we also should think about this loneliness. If you are feeling lonely, if you are having some kind of a loneliness situations in your life, use that time, use that valuable time to create a better life for yourself, because you have more time. You can do meditations. You can stick into a daily routine of the self-development. You can do meditations, you can do workouts, you can walk for some time, and you can be with this nature, read a book or learn something new, practice meditations, do exercises. These things can be done when you are all alone. So rather than feeling depressed about the situations that you are in, why can't we become more happy about the time that we are spending alone, right? So practice this, okay? So if people comes to your life, let them come. If people walks away from your life, let them walk away. But you have to be by yourself. You have to think about yourself. That is what you have to think, and that is what you have to do in this valuable time. So I think you got some idea about the loneliness and being in the solitude. So practice the solitude and make your life more better. Namo Buddhaya. One of the most frequent questions that I get asked from people is that people say that I fall in love with this person and I get too much attached to him or her, and it hurts both of us, right? It hurts me and to the other person. How can I love someone without getting attached to that person? That is one of the frequent questions that people ask from me. Well, to understand about this, first of all, you need to understand what is the difference between love and attachment. I'll tell you the difference. If you're in love with someone, if you fall in love with someone, this means the pure love, the love, I would say. You say that I need you to be happy. Okay? That's what you say. I need you to be happy. If that happiness includes me, that's much better. If it does not include me, it's okay. Anyway, I need you to be happy in your life. That is love. And in attachment, you say, you need to make me happy. Okay? If they are not able to make you happy, then what do you say? Why aren't you making me happy? Okay? The love you give to me and the things that you do to me is not enough. That's what you say. That is called attachment. Okay? So did you see the difference? That means in love, you think about other people's happiness. Okay? As a result of thinking other people's happiness or wishing other people's happiness, you get the same thing back. Okay? But in an attachment, you wish your own happiness. Only that. You become, it's a form of selfishness. Okay? So, this is the difference between love and attachment. So, how attachment happens? Here's how it happens. You see this person and you think like, oh, he or she is perfect for me. He's the best thing for me. And I want to be with that person forever. I need to be with him or her forever. I don't want to let that person go off my life. Okay? I don't want let that person to leave my life. I need to be with that person. In that case, you hold on to that person tightly. Okay? You grab that person and you don't want to let go of that person. Then, what you do, in the next step, you try to protect him or her. Okay? Sometimes you overprotect him or her. So some people, they put restrictions. Okay, you should not use social media. You should not go and talk with other people, right? You should not come out of house. Remember, the more you try to hold on to someone's life, okay, and the more you try to control someone's life, chances are very, very high for you to lose that person. Because if you dive into the Buddhist teachings, okay, when you dive in deep into Buddha's teachings, Buddha says that you live in your own private world as well as others. Okay? Same like you, other people are also living in their private world. You create your own private world. You create your own happiness. You create your own sadness. And everything that you create is created by yourself. Okay? Your world is created by yourself. So it goes same with others. Okay? They are living in their private world. Okay? Same as you like to be happy and same as you like to be free, those people around you likes to be happy and free. Okay? So what happens when you try to put restrictions on someone? What happens is they don't like it. Okay? No one likes to be totally under control of someone. Okay? They need to have some sort of freedom in their life. So chances are very high for you to lose that person if you try to protect and overprotect and hold on to it and hold on to that person. And you think like, I need to be with that person. And what happens next is you become afraid of losing that person. You think, what if this guy or this person leave me? Okay? What will happen to me? Okay? My whole world will be a disaster. Okay? Remember, the reality of life is no one in this world is permanent. Okay? Everyone, everything, every experience in this life is subjected to change. That is the reality of life. So that is how attachment happens. But in love, you come to the reality. Okay? When you love someone correctly and purely without too much attachment, you come to this reality, to this real world. You know that these people around me are not going to live forever with me. It's not going to happen. Now, one of the things that Buddha advised us to remember every time, every single day, and every single time it is possible to remember, Buddha said, remember that everyone around you, okay, every person who loves you and who you love is going to leave you. Okay, you have to be separated from these people. I know it is painful. It is difficult to think because we love people, okay? We're afraid of losing them, but one day, in one way or another, okay, in sooner or later, this will happen. At least at the death, it will happen. So we have to leave these people around us, okay? We are not going to live forever. So when you realize that, that is the reality, okay? When you realize that, you come to the reality and think, okay, I have a very, very little time with these people. Actually, the life is short, okay? If nothing happened to us, we will live only for maybe like 85 years. Who knows, okay? So life is very short. Then you know that I'm not going to live with this person forever. So what do? You show your love, affection, kindness, and compassion to this person in the best way that you can in this little time, because you know that you have a very little time. Okay? So to love someone, you need to understand the reality of life. What is the reality of life? Everything is subjected to change. Okay? Everything is ever changing. That is called anicca in Buddhism. Okay? It is not permanent, it is impermanent. The second thing is that everyone in their own world is suffering. Okay? We suffer in our own private worlds, right? So we have our own private and personal sufferings. Same like that others also are suffering in their life. Okay? So if we expect that other people to fulfill all the needs and all the requirements 100% in our life, that's not going to happen. Realize it, okay? Because everyone personally is going through suffering. Understand about this. That is called dukkha. And the third one is that no one in this world is totally under your control. You cannot control people around you totally. Okay, that is called anatta. You're out of control of this world. Okay, the problem is we worry about the people that we cannot control. Okay, can you control people's behavior? No, you cannot do that. Can you control how people behave and how people treat you, how people talk to you, how people think about you? No, that is their own business. Okay, so what you can control is how you live in your life, the way you live in your personal life. That is totally under your control. So understand these three things. What is that? Everything is subjected to change. Everyone is suffering in their own worlds, and not everyone in this world is totally under your control. This is called the truth in this life. This is called the reality in this life. Once you understand this, you know and you will learn how to be compassionate on people. Okay? How to love people. And then you can wish, no matter what happens to you, if you stay with me or if you did not stay with me, it's okay. I wish the good of you. I wish the happiness of you. Okay? Then that love will never hurt you. Okay? But attachment, when you get too much attached to people, it will definitely hurt you. So wish the good for everyone, wish the happiness on everyone, and then you will find the peaceness that you're seeking for in your life. Namo Buddhaya.